Now, last night we succeeded just barely in a flyby of the moon, and we rescued a Kerbal from orbit. Which is kind of embarrassing because Jeb and Val still haven't achieved orbit in their own rights. So let's see what we've got left here. We got, well, we're going to take another rescue mission first off, because it's going to give us a free Kerbal. But more importantly, we now have a contract to orbit the moon. We need to test a heat shield at the launch site. We also have a satellite in specific orbit of Minmus mission, but that's going to take some real doing. We attempted that last night towards the end of the stream, and we found out that we didn't have enough Delta V because adding on the heat shields kind of killed things. Now, we don't need the heat shield for a satellite in orbit of Minmus, but the problem with that is we're going to be going beyond our current communications capacity unless we can get these antennas to stack high enough to make it work. So the Minmus mission is going to be our first shout because that's going to get us a bunch more science. I hope you like mint. Me, I like chocolate myself. Get that out of the way. Run the test. Jettison heat shield. Alright, and we are flying in 3, 2, 1, fire. Okay, that's a bit of an annoyance. Thought we were doing well. Instead, it looks like I'm going to have to fight this thing to get it to orbit after all. There's that. Okay, we want an apoapsis higher than 180 kilometers. Come on, you bastards. Stay stable. Now you can start going down the ball a bit. Okay. Okay, we've dumped the nose cone. Okay, main stage is out. Okay, we've got the we've got the decoupler contract, so... Uh-oh. Come on, get over here on the dot, please. Thank you. Okay, that's stabilized. Start burning like hell. That's as good as we get. And I had to disimprove it a bit to stop us tumbling. Okay. We are pretty close. We're cutting it really tight on this trajectory. We're going to have very little fuel left by the time we get out there after all this faff. Need the absolute minimum Minmus. I need to get this as close to right as I can first time. We're going to have precious little fuel remaining to get this fixed. Even if this goes wrong, the contracts that we had, the parts test, have paid for this launch. So we are still in very good shape financially. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1/3 throttle. Get us on the target for the burn. Then full throttle. Okay. That is badly off kilter, unfortunately, but we don't have the juice to make the adjustment here. Oh, this is going to be very tight. Very tight indeed. We have... This will leave us with only about 50 meters per second for final trim. So this better work out for science, that's all I can say. Well, in any case, we'll have power for the way up. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we are up here on fumes. But we are getting science back, so that's all to the good. "41 meters per second left in this thing." That ought to tell you just how little extra weight we can put on this thing if we want to get in orbit and back for the moon. Or rather, we need to put more delta V on the next moon mission. Damn it. Fucked up the burn. Oh, but. First flyby of Minmus, orbit of Minmus, scientific data from Minmus. We got the contract. We got the contract. Okay, it was close enough. Oh boy, and that was just barely close enough too. Mission fully successful, just barely. Okay, we got more rescue missions coming up, which we're going to take. Test Twitch liquid fuel engine orbiting the moon. Yeah, that's fine. Test Hammer solid fuel booster. That's not so fine. That's a no. Test radial decoupler splashdown at Kerbal. Well, that gets us use of the part, so let's go ahead and take that. Actually, no, I shouldn't say unfortunately. This is a goal that we can probably achieve down the road, and it's worth taking now to have it. So that's going to do that. Now, we're going to be doing some rescue missions here to get more money and more kerbals. Rescue 2. Save. Alright. No, not all right. Resume flight. Recover that. Jeb, god damn it, get out the chair. This is not a flight for you, Jeb. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, fire. Okay. Apoapsis at 85 kilometers, which is right about where we want to start it out at. As it happens, I think I've actually put too much Delta V on this version. Now I kind of wish I had 2 cockpits on this thing. Okay, just double-checked our orbit, and we are well above atmosphere. That is something you have to watch. Okay, Ergen. Ergen is another friggin' engineer. Well, we're gonna save you anyway. I don't know why. Let's get over there and don't you screw it up. Coming in right on the ball. No trouble at all. Or if there are any, they're small. Because who are you going to call? Just keep your eye on the ball. And to make things even better, I've got a mod installed that puts in unmanned probes before we get crew compartments and the like. Which is why I'm having to use an airplane cockpit to rescue this Kerbal. And the annoying thing is we're going to dump a stage that we never drained a single drop of fuel out of the whole damn time. I really did have too much Delta V in this thing. But it gives me an idea for the next version. And the planned orbital maneuvering stage goes bye-bye. No, don't jettison the heat shield. God damn, no. There. Okay. Yes, I know where we're going. We're going straight to the scene of the crash. Old joke, yeah. Ergen Kerman, this is ground control. You've really made the grade. Everybody wants to know what kind of shorts you wear. You say you want to leave the capsule? Don't you dare. Alright, yeah, that is an ocean landing. Smick. Okay, vessel recovered. Well, rescue 2 anyway. Now, here's the deal. We're going to attempt to put on 2 cockpits here and hopefully get home that way. Alright, and Jeb, no, you're not in the seat, Jeb. You actually have more sense. Okay. I think we'll be okay with this. We're gonna try it anyway. And if we get a couple of Kerbals killed, so sad. 30-part limit is kind of hurting here. Do I have enough money here to upgrade past that now? Yes. Okay, 30-part limit is now a thing of the past. Alright, second stage is going to start out as less than 1 TWR, so we need to have at least a little bit of lateral going by the time we get there. But in the meantime, here we go. 3, 2, 1, fire. Okay. Keep it in the bubble. And there goes the boosters. Booster stages are away. We are TWR positive already and moving quickly. Good. Discord, no, it probably wouldn't. I'm using all my available outbound just for this stream. And I've shut down the internet on all my other machines in the house before I start a stream. Nice. This seems to be working out well. In fact, we still might have a little bit too much delta V. Well, brute force solutions, what can I say? Alright, and Kerbal is a pilot. We have a third pilot now. Happy Kerbal, happy Kerbal. Happy Kerbal gonna run into the ship if he's not careful. Okay, we got him in. Let's put him there, though. Right. Time to target the last of our friends here. Presenting the broadest front to it, so it'll be a lot easier for whoever this is, Verbro, to get a grip than Kerbal did. Kerbal had to grab on with his toes, which is pretty damn difficult in a spacesuit. Okay, and Verbro is a scientist. Okay, good. I should have added a third parachute on this just to be safe. So now we're going to have to see what... Well, we're going to have to make damn sure whatever else happens, we bring this down in water. Okay, and... bonk. Perfect. Alright. And yeah, we had tons and tons of unexpended Delta V here. If I wasn't worried about the safety of this thing, I'd send them around the moon just to give them the flight and the experience. But we don't have the Delta V to slow them down safely for re-entry, I don't think. We're going to have to clear up space junk in a bit. Another beauty shot of our crew coming home. And now let's do a bit of time warp. Get us down where the air ain't rare. Yeah, we are definitely going to be landing in the water the other side of the Space Center, which is exactly what I wanted. Now, the only question is, will 2 radial parachutes handle 2.67 tons? I think they'll handle it easily. This is what it looks like from the inside. Not great. But if we turn them around so they'd have a better view, it would probably be a very brief view. We want them bored but alive at the end of this flight. Okay, that's the Bad Day Mountains there in front of us and below us. We're actually coming across them a bit higher than I anticipated. There we go. Yeah, I can't see the KSC. You can just barely see the islands that have the old airfield on them. And yeah, 5.7 meters per second is just fine. Alright, recover vessel, and we've successfully rescued some Kerbals. Yay, us. Okay. And of course, we can keep going back for more of those as often as we want to. Science data from surface of Minmus. If I had any way to land the thing, I might. Instead, since we've now got the part limit unlocked, and we know that the rocket we just had a pretty good chunk of Delta V to it, I think we're going to add a little more Delta V, and we're going to send Jeb and Val on a moon flight. But that will be after the pee and snack break. Everybody get up, stretch your legs. That's the wrong thing. That one. There we go. And no, quit that. Give me that. Thank you. Anyway, we will be back in... How long is it going to be? About 7 minutes. Enjoy these tracks from the Consortium of Genius and the Funny Music Project. Once or twice around, then come back down. This is a tall, tall-ass ship. I mean, there's some Kerbals here at the base for scale. Oh, you're right. I took off the... No, the parachutes are right here. 1, 2, right there. All good. All right. The only thing I'm worried about is steering this thing on the way up. Because, like I said, really tall, really skinny rocket. All right. We're ready. It's got fins. See? Fins. Fins are important. All right, and we're flying in 3, 2, 1, fire. Now we still have a bit of a serious drag problem up top because of the gap here. In low atmosphere, that's going to seriously sap us, and it's going to make this thing a little bit on the unstable side. Although you wouldn't know it right now because my hands are completely off the controls, and we're still going straight as an arrow. Clean sep. Good. That was one of the 2 worries I had, and it's taken care of. We have orbit. 82 by 92. It ain't great, but I'm not going to waste fuel trying to correct it. Okay, there's a capture, potentially. I'm going to use up the big stage and going to be eating a little bit into the small stage, though. Stage used up. Now, if you're wondering why I'm doing this extra burn to get on the other side for a retrograde orbit of the Moon, a retrograde orb trajectory means it'll be a little bit cheaper to get a capture, at least in theory. We're not going to drop down our apoapsis very much. We're just going to get the orbit, collect some science in high and low, maybe do a couple of spacewalks up there, and then we are coming back. And we're going to save as much delta V as we can to make that as easy as possible. Okay, Jeb can't EVA because the stupid barometer is locking down his hatch. Now Jeb does another crew report. Crew reporting in from space. Now get a high Kerbal orbit EVA report. Getting all sorts of science. That's where we're headed. 25 science, nice. And a goo canister. Just a trickle, but we need to collect every bit of science we can. And Valentina goes EVA. She says something profound, but we'll never know. And time warp on up until we are hugging. And making the computer judder with trying to render this thing in. Oh boy. Yep. It just looks like we're about to crash. We are just going to come very damn close. Alright, the other material study. Keep that. Does look a little bit worrisome, doesn't it? But as it happens, there was nothing to worry about. We are well and truly above it all. Although, well, still pretty good ways above it all, too. Okay, we are orbital. Okay, and that's all we want. So now, Val can go EVA. EVA report from East Far Side Crater. Keep experiment. Reboard ship. Collect all that science. Valentina EVA again. Now the problem is we're going to have to ride up here for a good long time before this elongated orbit gets to a point where we get an automatic return. Because as you see, the apoapsis is actually swinging around ahead of us in orbit, which means really wasteful to burn here. A circular orbit would get us out more easily, but we're not in that much of a hurry, thankfully. We want to get all the science we can. Okay, we got lowlands, midlands, highlands, and East Far Side Crater. Is this twin craters? Do we get twin craters in this pass? Midland Craters? That, I think, is a new one. East Crater, there we go. Warping around. And now you'll see that the apoapsis is on the opposite side of the moon from where it was when we first made orbit. 3 days ago in game time. And it's swinging around again. So it looks like we're going to make one more orbit and then we'll be in a position to burn for home. And now, as you see, the apoapsis of our trajectory is coming around to the directly behind the moon in its orbit. That's what we want in order to leave orbit and get a free return trajectory back home. There is one more thing we can get. Here's twin craters. I was looking at the wrong place. So give us one more EVA, Val. And all these EVAs are super important considering we are on half science for this playthrough. Super hard mode. Half science, half cash. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, firing. Tiny, tiny, tiny little engines, but they'll get us home. All right. We leaving the moon. We're coming down to Kerbal at about 40 kilometers altitude, well in atmosphere, and we'll be slapping on the brakes when we get close with all the remaining fuel we've got, which is about 402 meters per second of delta V. And I have to burn in a certain way to make sure that I keep my periapsis positive. We do not want to auger straight in as we make our final approach. Now the drawback is that these engines are weak enough that this is full throttle and we are not even keeping up with gravity acceleration here. But it does make a difference in the long run. And we're just going to barely have time to dump this stage before we hit Atmo, I think. And the last fumes are squirted out the engine bells. Flame out. Spent stage and dead science equipment discarded. We can no longer use them. Yes, it's going to be a warm one. That's why I used all that extra delta V to buy me about 300 meters per second of slower re-entry speed. Okay. It looks like for a moment there the re-entry heating, the re-entry heating is actually overwhelming the ability of the heat shield to keep up with it. It's a good thing we didn't come in any deeper. As it is, maybe I should have slowed down a little bit more if I could have, because we just hit periapsis. We're on our way back up. We're not going to skip off. Apoapsis is already down to about 400 kilometers, and we are going to get captured. But we may run out of ocean on this trajectory. Oh. That's actually rather nice. But I need to watch what the hell I'm doing. Okay, yeah, we're coming up on land and mountains pretty quick. Oh, we're coming up on the crater. Okay, we don't want to be slowing down anymore. We want to be as aerodynamic as possible to carry over the crater. The crater rim mountains would be very unfortunate at this point. All right, Apoapsis. It's literally all downhill from here. And Jeb and Val are having the time of their lives. I mean, look at that. Wouldn't you be? Okay, we're going to clear the Crater Rim Mountains with room to spare, thankfully. But we are coming down on land. That presents issues. Yeah. Jeb and Val, this is how they like to live. On the edge, baby. All right. Oh. Oh, mountain. We just very nearly came to grief, and we're not entirely secure from that yet. Yeah, I have just enough control to try to tip us forward so we can land flat rather than try to land vertically. And that actually slowed us down significantly. And there we go. Home safe and or sound. 222.8. Jeb and Val only got to level 1 though, but that'll have to do. Land on Minmus, rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit of Minmus, return to Kerbal from a flyby of Minmus. Yes. Rescue Lemsley and Siglo from orbit of the Moon. That I think we'll take both of those because we've just proved we can do that. Position the surprise and adjusted orbit of Kerbal. I don't even know if it's got the Delta V for that. No, it's got tons. Tons and tons. Yeah, no SAS on this stupid thing, which is the real adventure. Oh, oh, oh. Contract complete. We got it. Alrighty then. And that was a nice chunk of free money